What if the healthy snack you trust the most is quietly ruining your joints? You've probably been told that nuts are packed with protein, good fats, and brain fuel. But here's the truth: some of them can actually speed up aging, cause inflammation, and drain your energy, especially after 40. And the worst part, they don't come with warning labels. You eat them thinking you're helping your body when in reality, you're feeding it the very thing that's breaking it down. In this video, we're exposing the 4 nuts you need to stop eating today and the 4 that can actually reverse stiffness, boost focus, and help you feel younger than you have in years. After 40, things change. It's not just about feeling a little more tired. You start noticing the stiffness in the morning, the digestion not being what it used to be, and that brain fog creeping in mid-afternoon. You might chalk it up to age, and sure, time plays a part, but it's not the full story. What if what you're eating is quietly accelerating those signs of aging? The truth is, inflammation, silent muscle loss, and subtle metabolic shifts often get ignored, and it all adds up. The food we eat plays a much bigger role than we think, and while nuts seem harmless, even virtuous, some are silently sabotaging your body. The dangerous part is they wear a healthy label. You grab them because you're trying to do the right thing. But not all nuts are created equal. Some are actively helping you build strength and energy, while others are slowly draining it. Which of these bad nuts shocked you the most? Drop it in the comments. Have you been snacking on any of these, thinking they were good for you all along? Buddhist monks, known for their clarity, longevity, and vitality, have known this for centuries. They treat food as a spiritual and medicinal act, choosing mindfully. Science is now catching up. In this video, we're diving into which 4 nuts you should avoid and which 4 you should embrace, because when you choose right, your body thanks you with strength, clarity, and years of vibrant living. We've all heard it. Nuts are healthy, full of good fats and protein. But here's the twist: not all nuts are created equal. Some are silently supporting your muscles and mind. Others, they're quietly draining your strength. And the kicker, the worst ones are often marketed as the best. Let's learn what monks and modern science already know so we can snack smarter. Let's talk about the nuts you might want to kick out of your pantry, especially if you're over 40 and looking to stay strong, energized, and inflammation-free. First up, peanuts. Have you ever thought about how often peanuts show up in your snacks? They're everywhere: trail mix, peanut butter, protein bars. But here's the catch: peanuts aren't even technically nuts. They're legumes, and they're extremely prone to mold growth, especially something called aflatoxins, an invisible toxin linked to liver damage and even cancer. On top of that, peanuts are sky-high in omega-6 fatty acids, and when you're already overloaded with omega-6 and low on omega-3, you're setting yourself up for chronic inflammation. And guess what? Chronic inflammation isn't always loud. Sometimes it just whispers through stiff joints, low energy, or that brain fog you can't quite shake. Did you ever think something as small as a peanut could silently chip away at your strength? Next, let's crack open pistachios. Sure, they're tasty, fun to eat. But have you ever noticed how easy it is to blow through a whole bag? That's the problem. Pistachios are crazy calorie-dense, and when they're roasted and heavily salted like most store-bought versions, they hit your body with a double whammy: too much sodium, too many hidden calories. Over time, that innocent handful turns into hidden visceral fat, creeping blood pressure, and sluggish digestion. Ever feel bloated and heavy after snacking? This might be why. Moving on to processed pecans. Now, raw pecans in small amounts. Not terrible, but the processed ones, different story. Most pecans you find in snacks or desserts are candied, roasted in cheap oils, or loaded with syrup, and that sugar-oil combo, it's a fast track to insulin resistance, weight gain, and accelerated aging. A study from the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology confirmed it. Diets high in trans fats and added sugars crank up inflammation and slow down muscle recovery. So, if you're munching on pecan pie bars thinking, hey, it's natural, it's time for a reality check. Finally, let's talk about macadamia nuts. They seem so luxurious, so healthy, right? And yes, they do have good fats, but they're also packed with calories and hardly any protein. Just a tiny handful can top 200 calories without giving you the muscle support you actually need after 40. Have you ever sat down with a bowl of macadamias and realized half the bag was gone? Yeah, that's not your fault. They're deliciously dangerous. Too much dietary fat. Even the good kind. Still stresses your liver, clogs digestion, and sneaks on extra pounds when your daily calorie burn isn't what it used to be. Here's the bigger picture. Buddhist monks and longevity experts don't fear food, but they respect it. They avoid high-calorie, low-nourishment foods for a reason. They choose nourishment over indulgence. Always. And you can too. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be informed. Imagine swapping a handful of roasted salted pistachios for 5 raw almonds, or trading candied pecans for a single Brazil nut packed with selenium. Tiny shifts, big difference. So let's get real. Most people don't even realize how much of their daily fatigue, brain fog, and joint stiffness is linked to what they're mindlessly snacking on. Have you ever thought? It's just a snack, it doesn't matter. Now you know it does. The food you eat today is the energy, clarity, and strength you walk with tomorrow. Choose snacks that fuel you, not ones that quietly drain you. Because when you stack small, smart choices day after day, year after year, you're not just aging, you're thriving. Now that we've talked about the nuts you should avoid, let's flip the script. Let's focus on the good guys, the ones that actually help your body stay strong, focused, and energized. Nut 1 almonds. Have you ever grabbed a handful of almonds and just felt better afterward? That's not your imagination. Almonds are the MVPs of smart snacking. They're rich in plant-based protein, healthy fats, fiber, magnesium, and vitamin E. That combo does a lot. Protects your muscles, stabilizes blood sugar, and supports brain clarity. You know that mid-morning crash, a few almonds can flatten it before it even hits. Nut 2. Walnuts. Let me ask you something. Have you ever heard that walnuts are brain food? Well, it's true. Just look at them. Nature literally shaped them like a brain. I had a client, Dave, in his late 60s. He started eating 4 walnuts a day. That's it. In 2 weeks. He noticed clearer thoughts, better focus, and calmer moods. Why omega-3s? These little guys help your joints stay flexible, your brain stay sharp, and your heart stay strong. Nut 3 Brazil nuts. Not as famous, but totally essential. Just 1 or 2 Brazil nuts give you your full daily dose of selenium, a mineral most people are missing badly. Selenium supports your thyroid, balances your hormones, boosts your energy, and sharpens immunity. I had a client named Angela, early 50s, exhausted all the time. We added just 1 Brazil nut to her lunch. 3 weeks later, she was sleeping better, thinking clearer, and even felt more emotionally balanced, sometimes. The smallest step leads to the biggest shift. If 1 Brazil nut can boost energy, mood, And clarity, what else have we been overlooking in our diets? Nut 4. Hazelnuts, the underdog. People usually think chocolate spread, but raw hazelnuts. Total game changers. They're loaded with vitamin E and magnesium, two nutrients that support your nervous system. Coordination and focus as we age. Brain-body connection starts to fade. Hazelnuts help bring it back. Ever feel a little clumsy, forgetful? Try hazelnuts for 2 weeks and see what happens. Now here's the bigger truth. It's not just what's in the nut. It's also how you eat them. Have you tried soaking almonds overnight for easier digestion? Do you choose raw, unsalted versions? Do you pause before eating to truly enjoy the flavor? That's what monks do. They don't snack. They nourish with full awareness. And you can too. Want to feel the difference? Here's your challenge. Pick one of these nuts. Add it daily, just for 7 days. Notice your energy. Track your focus. Watch your mood shift. 1 Brazil nut, 4 walnuts, a few almonds. That's all it takes to start changing how you feel without pills, without stress. Because these aren't just nuts. They're building blocks. They're natural tools your body knows exactly what to do with. Fuel for your 40s, your 50s, your 70s. So snack with intention. Snack for strength. Snack to stay sharp today. And for the long run. Let's talk science for a second, because while ancient wisdom is powerful, we also want to know what modern research says. And guess what? The numbers back it up in a big way. Have you ever wondered why some people age so much more gracefully than others? A lot of it comes down to food, specifically nuts. 2 of the biggest studies in the world, the Nurses' Health Study and the Health Professionals' Follow-Up Study, tracked tens of thousands of people over decades. Their findings: people who eat just a handful of nuts every day live longer. They have fewer diseases, more energy, less decline. One study in the New England Journal of Medicine followed over 120,000 people and found those who ate nuts daily were 20% less likely to die from any cause. That's not a small number. That's life-changing. And we're not talking about a bowl the size of your head. Just a handful. Daily. That's it. So, what's happening behind the scenes? Nuts, especially almonds and walnuts, are rich in omega-3s and polyphenols. These reduce inflammation, protect your heart, and boost brain function. They're exactly what your body starts craving more of after 40. One study in Spain showed that adding 30 grams of nuts a day improved memory, stabilized blood sugar, and even shrank belly fat. And researchers were clear nuts played a starring role. Your gut loves them, too. Why? Because the fiber in nuts feeds your good gut bacteria. That's right, snacking on the right nuts can actually improve digestion, mood, and even focus. And for anyone nervous about fats, don't be. The healthy fats in nuts regulate hormones, cushion your organs, and even help your skin stay firm. This isn't hype, it's biology. Let's get specific. A year-long clinical trial published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults who added walnuts to their diet showed measurable improvements in brain function. 1 year, 1 change. Think about that. As we age, our biggest fear isn't just physical, it's cognitive decline, losing memory, losing clarity. These studies prove we're not powerless. The choices you make at snack time can protect your mind. And it doesn't stop at the brain. A meta-analysis from the British Medical Journal found that people who eat nuts regularly have significantly lower risks of heart disease and stroke. This is real science, large-scale, long-term, repeated across countries, ages, and lifestyles. So whether you trust tradition, data, or both, this is clear. A few nuts a day could be one of the most powerful habits you build for your future. Let's slow things down for a second. Because this part, it's not just about what you eat. It's about how you eat, in Buddhist teachings. Food isn't fuel, it's a spiritual practice, a form of presence, a moment of connection. Have you ever eaten lunch while scrolling your phone, and then realized you barely tasted it? That's the modern norm. Fast breakfasts, distracted dinners, mindless munching in front of a screen. But in temples, meals are sacred. Monks eat in silence. They chew slowly. They honor each bite, and something incredible happens. Research now proves what monks have known all along. When you eat mindfully, your body responds better. Digestion improves. Nutrient absorption increases. Emotional regulation becomes easier. Even your metabolism works more efficiently. Why? Because when your body feels safe, calm, and focused, it heals. That's when real nourishment begins. Let me tell you a story. A client of mine, Tara, struggled with emotional eating. She would rush meals and feel drained afterward. We didn't overhaul her whole diet. We started with one mindful snack a day. 10 minutes. No phone. Just a handful of raw almonds and full attention. In 2 weeks, she started sleeping deeper. Her cravings faded. She even said she felt lighter emotionally and physically. Have you ever eaten something, but still felt unsatisfied? That's not hunger. That's a lack of presence. Try this. Next time you reach for a snack, pause. Take 3 deep breaths. Look at the food. Smell it. Feel the texture. Then chew slowly. That's mindful eating. That's how monks turn food into medicine. It's not about perfection. You don't need to eat every meal in silence like a monk. But can you give yourself one moment a day to eat with gratitude, with intention, without distraction? Are you eating just to pass the time, or to fuel the life you truly want? Because here's the truth. When you slow down, your body speaks, and it tells you exactly what it needs. So the next time you reach for a snack, ask yourself, am I eating to fill time? Or am I eating to fill life? That one shift in mindset, it can change how you digest, how you feel, and how you live. Let's bring everything together with a real, usable plan you can apply every single day. You've got the knowledge, now you know which nuts to embrace and which to avoid. But how do you actually put that into practice? Let me show you a smart snacking schedule that works in the real world. It's simple, flexible, and designed to support your body from the moment you wake up to the time you wind down at night. Morning, start your day with 5 raw almonds. They're light, easy to digest, and packed with protein, magnesium, and vitamin E, perfect for setting a stable energy foundation. You can eat them on their own or toss them into your oatmeal or smoothie. What matters most is consistency. A handful every morning helps kickstart your metabolism and stabilize your blood sugar, so you're not crashing mid-morning. Midday, around lunchtime, add in a walnut or 2. Yes, just a couple can go a long way. Walnuts are fantastic for brain function, thanks to their omega-3 content. If you're someone who works in a mentally demanding job, or you find yourself mentally foggy after lunch, this is your snack. Pair it with your salad or your sandwich, or simply keep them in a container at your desk. It's a brain-friendly boost that takes 2 seconds to implement. Afternoon slump. This is where most people reach for sugar. But you've got a better plan. Around 3 p.m., have 1 Brazil nut, That's all you need to meet your selenium needs for the day, which supports thyroid function and energy regulation. The best part, Brazil nuts are satisfying without being heavy. One nut, 1 minute. Big return. Late afternoon or early evening. This is your hazelnut moment. Grab 5 or 6 raw hazelnuts. They're excellent for calming the nervous system, improving coordination, and supporting that brain-body connection. This is a great snack to have while prepping dinner or during your commute home. It keeps you level-headed, focused, and relaxed as your day starts to wind down. This whole schedule takes maybe 5 minutes total. No cooking, no prepping, no stress. Yet the benefits compound day after day. You're giving your body micronutrients, anti-inflammatory compounds, healthy fats, and plant-based proteins exactly when it needs them most. Let me be clear, this isn't about being perfect. Life gets busy. You'll forget a day here and there. That's okay. But the more you follow this rhythm, the more you'll feel the difference. Better energy, better sleep, fewer cravings, stronger digestion, more mental clarity. I had one client, a retired nurse in her late 60s, who followed this exact routine for 30 days. At the end, she said she didn't just feel better, she felt younger. Her joints didn't ache as much. She felt more alert, and her mood was more stable. And all she did was change her snacks. So give it a shot. Try this for a week. Make your snacks matter. Let food work for you, not against you, one handful at a time. And if you're someone who likes structure, jot this plan down on a sticky note or save it on your phone. You'd be surprised how much easier healthy choices become when you don't have to think about them in the moment. Decision fatigue is real, and having a go-to snack plan like this removes a layer of stress. Remember, your body is always listening. Every bite is a signal to heal, to rebuild, to protect. And these small, consistent choices, they build a body that's resilient not just in your 40s, but well into your 70s and beyond. Let's talk about what really makes the biggest difference in the long run. It's not drastic overhauls or expensive programs. It's the small, quiet choices you make every single day. That's the real power. Most people think they have to change everything all at once to see results. But in reality, transformation starts with one better decision, then another, then another. And when it comes to your health, especially after 40, those small shifts stack up faster than you think. Let me give you an example. I worked with a man in his early 60s who had been feeling tired, gaining weight, and struggling with joint pain. He thought he needed a full diet reset or a fancy detox. But all we did at first, we swapped his daily bag of mixed nuts, which was heavy on peanuts and candied pecans, for a balanced mix of almonds, walnuts, and a single Brazil nut. That was it. Within 3 weeks, his energy started coming back. His knees weren't as stiff. He started walking more. That one change gave him hope, and hope sparked momentum. Another story that stands out is a woman named June. She had been dealing with brain fog and mood swings that she chalked up to aging. She started doing one simple thing, eating 4 walnuts every day with her lunch. That's it. Nothing extreme. A month later, she told me she felt like her old self again. Clearer, more balanced, more in control. That's what happens when you nourish your body instead of just feeding it. It's easy to underestimate these changes because they're not dramatic. No before and after picture. No crash diet. But they work. Your body responds quickly when it gets the right tools. And every day you make the right choice. You reinforce a new identity. The identity of someone who values their energy, their mobility, their mental clarity. And look, I get it, life gets hectic. You'll forget a snack. You'll grab something quick and processed because it's convenient. That's okay. What matters most is that you come back to the foundation you're building. Choosing the right foods most of the time is enough to see serious benefits. So here's your reminder, you don't need to do it all. Just do one thing today that future you will thank you for. Maybe it's swapping peanuts for almonds. Maybe it's eating one Brazil nut at lunch. Maybe it's slowing down and actually enjoying what's on your plate. Those tiny steps, they compound. And before you know it, you'll look back and realize you've built something solid, one choice at a time. And here's something important to remember. Aging is not about decline. It's about change. Yes, your body may need different things than it did in your 20s, but that doesn't mean you're destined to feel worse every year. In fact, many people feel better in their 50s and 60s than they did decades earlier because they finally started making mindful choices. Food is one of the few things we get to control every single day, and when you start viewing it as a tool instead of a temptation, you unlock a different level of well-being. Every almond you chew, every walnut you enjoy, it's not just a snack, it's a vote for your future health. By now, you've seen it. Real change doesn't have to be loud or dramatic. Sometimes, it starts with what's in the palm of your hand. A few nuts, a mindful moment, a conscious shift. That handful isn't just food, it's a decision, a daily opportunity to choose energy over exhaustion, clarity over brain fog, resilience over slow decline. Think about how many choices we make on autopilot every day. What if just one of those choices, one small, consistent upgrade, could ripple out into how you sleep, how you move, how you age? The good news is, it can, and it does. Your body is listening. Every bite, every habit, every repetition sends a signal. You've got the science, you've got the tradition, you've even got real-life stories, and now, you've got the blueprint. The truth is, you don't need to become someone else to age well. You just need to become more aligned with the strongest version of who you already are. You don't have to overhaul your life to feel better. You just have to start. So today, make one move. Swap out that processed snack for almonds. Drop a Brazil nut in your lunchbox. Share this video with someone you care about. What's one food you used to trust until you learned the truth? Comment below and help someone else avoid the same mistake. And most importantly, comment below and declare it. Say, I choose to strengthen my body with awareness and wisdom, because you do, and it's already working. And here's the beautiful part, you don't need to wait for a new week, a new month, or a perfect moment. You can begin today with one almond, one walnut, one Brazil nut. That's how powerful your next step can be. Not loud, not flashy, just honest. Steady progress toward the health and energy you deserve.